And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BRimes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate, all about making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. We got Mark Haye, speaking of winning in the financial space, we got Mark Haye in the house, 21st Century Financial. And Mark, what are we going to talk about today? Give us a little teaser.
We're going to do some strategies, end-of-year strategies for tax and planning purposes.
End-of-year strategies, great time to plan that first quarter. You know, what does your next year look like? Well, you're planning right now that's dictating that. And long-term planning, the strategic thoughts on, you know, the different strategies around finances, around business, recruiting, whatever your goals are. We'll talk about that. Also, why one economist says Elon Musk could hold the key to lower mortgage rates. We're going to give you our real estate housing update coming up here as well. And also, interesting story, Lady Sue's Blue Cross Blue Shield, $12 million she won for them imposing their draconian style, Soviet style, COVID restrictions, work from home type restrictions, making her take the vaccine. And so we'll talk about that story coming up here as well. Just recently featured in Florida Realtor Magazine. We always like to feature our real estate listings live on air. It's part of our strategy that helps our sellers sell faster for more money, maximizing the exposure. And it was great to have that feature done recently, talking about the show and 11 years on air. And the marketing strategy works. We feature all of our listings on air, helping our sellers sell faster for more money. Maximum exposure leads to a maximum profit and a shorter marketing period. That's what we do. So our hot listing here for this segment is 8107 Sierra Manor Lane. Beautiful property, $1.7 million listing of ours. I love this home. It's on the upper Tampa Bay, the water leading out to Bahama Breeze and those restaurants over there on the causeway. 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 3-car garage. You have a 2-story single-family home, 3,600 plus square feet, 1.17 acres of land. So you got an estate-style home here. And a beautiful neighborhood, similar homes in the neighborhood here as well. Beautiful granite countertops, of course, all the updates that you'd expect on the interior. But I like to talk about the outside of the home in a lot of cases. 130 feet of private water frontage, and you have a 6,000-pound boat lift and a private dock. Access to the upper Tampa Bay waters there. So go fishing, you go jet skiing, whatever you want to do out there, bring your boats and jet skis, live that Florida lifestyle at 8107 Sierra Manor Lane in Tampa. One of our hot listings here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 2309 North Brentwood in Lecanto. This is a listing, compliments of Jamie on our team. We got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,700 plus square foot single-family home. This is newly construction as well, built in 2021. Great opportunity to own real estate. Beautiful curb appeal. I like the lighter colors in the kitchen there. The tile flooring. You are on the golf course as well. Gorgeous community pool. And you have the Gulf of Mexico about 15 minutes away for all your saltwater needs there. Citrus Hills Golf and Country Club features state-of-the-art fitness centers, racquetball courts, indoor pool, outdoor pool, sauna, hot tubs, and much, much more. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's right. Only in America, living in red, white, and blue. And Mark Haye back in studio, 21st Century Financial.
Good to see you again.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Happy holidays to you. Here
Fresh
we go.
off a hog hunt, man, or a deer hunting trip. That was
there
fun.
You go. There you
Razor
go.
Ranch. Got to get you out there sometime.
Yeah, how far away is that?
It's only 2 hours.
Okay.
Especially if you leave 5 in the morning and you drive 90 miles an hour like I do. Just kidding.
Yeah, exactly.
Any police officers out there, just kidding.
Exactly.
But, we had a great time, man. We got an Axis doe. My cousin came up from LaBelle. Got an Axis doe and also another doe as well. Thomas King, Florida
Nice.
Firearms, got a doe. And I had a miss. I missed one. But I had
purpose.
a shot. At least I got the shot in there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I wish I could say on purpose. It was a rush shot. But Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, always dropping knowledge around the real estate or the finance space, that is. Yeah, and a lot with the real estate, because real estate is a large part of people's wealth building strategies. And there's a lot going on right now, too. And just a quick consumer tip. Isn't there something called the FinCEN or something where I know Dwayne, our CPA, was talking about you have to register, otherwise you get a $500 fine, and it's new.
That's for the LLCs.
Yep.
You have to file that. If you haven't done it already, speak to your CPA or myself, and we can help you do that.
Okay.
But if you don't, it's like $500 a day or some crazy.
Is it just LLCs?
Yeah, if you reformed an LLC in the last year or so, you have to do that. If you're a bank, financial institution, they don't, whatever reason,
Okay.
But if you're LLC, yeah, you have to do that. I think it's called like BOI or something.
Okay.
But yeah, it needs to be filed. So reach out to your advisor, reach out to your CPA. Hey, I got an LLC. What do I have to file? Something about a $500 a day penalty. They're going to know. It's
Okay.
like BOI or something, an
Yep.
abbreviation. But that's a good point. And then we were just talking about end of year stuff. That's one end of year thing that needs to be done. Make sure you guys do that. Another thing is, we're getting into the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and everything else. And your business owners that own businesses, S Corp, LLCs, et cetera, you should be setting up the holidays as board meetings, with your family. Hopefully you have somebody in your family that works with you in your business, maybe a spouse, maybe kids, et cetera, so that when you go and have Thanksgiving, you can actually make that into a write-off, because you're talking business, having quote-unquote a board meeting. Over Christmas, you could do the same thing. Augusta rule, if you haven't taken advantage of the 14 days this year and the Augusta rule, make sure you guys do that for the holidays, because you're going to be hosting people, at your holidays. Most people do. And so that's one big thing as we get into the new year, and you're trying to save money on taxes.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that people are not taking advantage of. The Augusta rule, you get 14 days, make sure you max that out and make the board meetings, over the holidays. And you can write off travel, dining, hotels. Instead of staying at mom's basement, go get a hotel, and you can write that off now because it's a board meeting.
Now, let me ask you this, because you also do you have to track that, keep minutes, and keep it in one of your corporate books?
So what you would do is just say, we sat down Thursday, November 24th, whatever that is, and, here's who's here, at the meeting, and we talked about end-of-year goals, new year coming up, what we're going to try to accomplish, we're going to hire, fire, whoever. You got to talk business, but it's a board meeting. As long as you have that conversation, you can write off that whole meeting, the dinner, the travel, the hotel, everything, So don't make it an expense, make it a deduction.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then going into the end of the year, too, people that want to open up IRA, solo 401k, stuff like that, you got to do it by the end of the year. Here we are 7 or 8 weeks to go, and people are going to try to mad rush and get that in, if you do not have it established.
Right.
So reach out to your advisor, your CPA, et cetera. Hey, I need to set up a 401k or a solo 401k or an IRA. You got to tell the end of the year to do that. Those that are retired, and if you're 73 or older, you got to take out required minimum distribution. That's if you have an IRA, if you have a 401k, the government's going to make you spend that in retirement, and they're going to make you spend more and more every single year, and that starts at 73. And if you don't pull that out, they're going to make you take it out plus a 25% penalty.
Wow. So
let's say you owed $10,000, you got to take out $10,000, and you don't do it. Next year they're going to force you to take $10,000 out plus $2,500 as the penalty. So you don't want to be in a situation where you're going to have to be forced to take even more out, even if you don't need it. Which would then lead to donations. So if you're trying to lower your tax bill for 2024, donations is a really good thing to do. And a lot of people will donate their required minimum distribution. So if you don't need that, that $10,000 or whatever needs to come out of that contract, you can donate to your church. You can donate to a charity, a school, whatever, and then you don't have to pay taxes on it. You actually get to donate that, write that off of your taxes, and they get it tax-free.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will do that as planning instead of taking it and spending that and then giving it to a church. They just give the whole RMD straight to them, and then it's a write-off.
Right. Instead of it passing through.
Yeah. Even if you put a donation on a credit card, you could still, take that as a deduction and pay the credit card off next month.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the donation by the end of the year is really, really big as far as anything goes. HSA, health savings accounts.
Yep.
Right now is open enrollment, started in November. You could put up to, I think it's $4,150 a year single. I think $8,300 for a married couple. And if you're over 55, you could put an extra $1,000 a year into it. Again, it's like an IRA where you can deduct that contribution. So if you can put in $5,000, let's say, you can deduct that. But then you get it all tax free. HSAs are very, very good tax planning because you get deduction on the front end and you get tax free spending on the back end when it's medical. Obviously, you just can't spend it.
Medical. I think
correct.
Even dental sometimes.
Yeah, you got it. So that's a really good safe haven, to take and deduct and then get tax-free in the back end.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even set up HSAs. A lot of people don't even know what it is or have the ability to even think, well, I should do that. Because if you're a married couple, that's $8,300 that you could take off.
Right.
Let's just use IRA. and you're over 55 or whatever, you could put $8,000 a year into IRAs at 16 plus another $8,300 in HSA. Now we're at $25,000 a year that you can be deducting and investing that money into that. So those are really big things that need to be doing before the end of the year. Roth conversions. Okay. So if you want to take IRA money and convert it to a Roth IRA or convert it into life insurance retirement planning, it needs to be done by the end of the year, 2024. And so a lot of people, it's worth a phone call to an advisor or CPA, say, hey, should I be converting more of this or should I be converting this? Now, we know, like we talked about last time, the taxes are not going to change on us. So we're all going to stay in the same tax bracket. So you got this year and next year in the same tax bracket. And we certainly don't want to move you up the tax bracket. But if you look at where you're at, what's coming in, and we say, look, if we convert $50,000 into a Roth, we're not going to go up a tax bracket, and we'll pay that taxes today, get it into the Roth, and it's tax-free forever. So a lot of these things need to be done in the next 6 or 7 weeks.
Right.
You got holidays in the middle, so if you're going to act, you need to act sooner than later to get all this stuff done before the end of the year. If you own an LLC, and I always tell people, if you're making $50,000 or more of net income in an LLC, you need to switch it to an S corp. Because you'll save taxes on that just switching to an S corp.
50K is the minimum?
Yeah, I tell people $50K or more of net income, you should switch that to an S corp, and you'll save money on payroll taxes. Some people save $5,000, some people would save $15,000 a year just in taxes by switching it to an S corp. And you can do it this year, like right now, or even December, and it's retroactive for the whole year, as if you had the S corp for 2024. So
okay, that's great.
So again, if you own an LLC and okay, I'm coming in the end of the year, and I think we had a good year, and I think we're going to make more than $50,000 net after all our deductions, switch it to an S corp, and then you're going to eliminate $5,000 to $15,000 of taxes just doing that.
Now, is that based on payroll?
Yeah. So
what if you don't have employees?
No, you don't need employees.
You don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
So LLC is going to get taxed the most, and that's why over $50,000 go to S. Under $50,000 stay in the LLC. You're going to be better off.
Got it.
You know what I mean? But you can retroactive that and say, I want to elect to put this in S corp, and then that covers for the whole 2024. And then you save that.
And people don't realize also you can get a review. You could have Mark, you could call our hotline right now and say, hey, Mark, take a look at not only my financials, but also, have your CPA team or whoever look at, what we filed. How did we structure our entities? We've got multiple entities. We've got a radio show. We've got a real estate company. We've got a art museum. Who knows, right?
Right.
What kind of business? 3 years, you can go back and change your taxes. You can file. You can look. So you've got that look back time period. And I've heard stories over the years doing this show, 11 years now, of some really interesting stories people just didn't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. And then the challenge is that's money that you lost for your family. That's purchasing power that you now eliminated. So reach out to our hotline at 727-263-3707. You can call or text that hotline, 727-263-3707. The Consumer Quarterback Show hotline online at consumerqb.com. And we'll put you in touch with Mark, and that way you can get that checkup. You can get that financial review, take a look back on your taxes. Maybe you left some money on the table there, and you're rowing the boat. You're going across the lake, but you got a couple little holes there. You might plug that hole. You're going much faster, and you're able to get to your goals and attain your goals at a faster rate. All right, taking a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about a couple stories here, also more with Mark Haye. Why one economist says Elon Musk could hold the key to lower mortgage rates. Coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonBrimes1 at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our channels on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify. Or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Patriot Mobile is America's only Christian conservative wireless provider who shares your values. They offer the very best nationwide coverage on 4G and 5G LTE networks and exceptional 100% US-based customer support. Patriot Mobile offers discounts for veterans and first responders, NRA members, and families with multiple lines. Learn more at patriotmobile.com/consumerqb. That's patriotmobile.com 727-263-3707/consumerqb. Or if you'd like to give us a call, you can reach out at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. And we'd be happy to tell you more about Patriot Mobile.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
Lindsay Rhymes here with Archer Place in Gainesville, Florida. Our luxury condo community is located only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida, 5 minutes to Shands Medical and Butler Plaza. Our buyers love the high-end luxury amenities in their building, including a state-of-the-art fitness facility equipped with Pelotons, the resort-style temperature-controlled pool accompanied with cabanas and grills, and the gourmet chef's kitchen in our clubhouse that overlooks the pool. We have pre-construction pricing only for a limited time, with floor plans ranging from a 1-bedroom, 1-bath to 2-floor penthouses with plunge pools. Starting in the low 400,000s to the high 900s, investors, parents sending their young adults off to school, medical professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs alike are investing in these residences. Reach out to us today at 727-263-3707 to get more information.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here in studio with Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial Group. All things finance on the front end of the show today, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, also investing in markets with Mark Haye. We'll talk with him more on that. Plus, feel-good story of the day coming up later on in the program. 5407 County Road 125. This one's in Wildwood. Compliments of Jamie on our team. Wildwood property, 5407 County Road 125 in Wildwood, Florida. This one's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,914 square foot single family home. Gorgeous home, beautiful curb appeal. I love the front lawn and the landscaping there, beautiful palm trees. Inside, you've got the lighter color kitchen, and you have beautiful flooring, a big backyard. Look at that backyard and the open view there as well. Community has no age restrictions, low HOA fees, and you have a beautiful home. It's on the golf course as well. See that through your seamless glass windows. Living area has 3 sliders that go out there as well. Beautiful property, 5407 County Road 125 in Wildwood, Florida. Great opportunity. 5930 River Road. We got a property on the river here. This one's in Newport Richey. 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath, 2 spots for your carport, and a 1-car garage. Over a half-acre lot, 80 feet of frontage on the Cody River. Gorgeous listing right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. This is Newport Richey, Florida at 5930 River Road. And beautiful property. Got to schedule the showing on this one. Too many updates and upgrades to mention here. Metal roof, stone construction, and great opportunity. You can see all of our listings, Platinum MVP Team.kw.com. All right, in studio here, we're talking about 15 strategies to consider, end-of-year planning and tax planning strategies with Mark Haye. And, Mark, I wanted to touch on this one. This was kind of interesting. Lawrence Young, he's the chief economist at NAR. He says just that Elon Musk's recent appointment to co-lead the Department of Government Efficiencies could influence mortgage rates. The department aims to reduce government bureaucracy and federal deficit. Young persists that lowering the federal deficit through spending cuts could lead to decreased mortgage rates, as reduced government borrowing may result in lower interest rates. However, implementing such budget cuts presents significant challenges and has faced skepticism given the limited success of similar past initiatives. Well, I don't think there's anything similar to what Elon and Vivek are about to do to the size of our federal government. Do you?
Well, I like, I don't know if you guys saw, Elon posted, I think, last week, what they're doing. They're basically going through each government entity and agency and basically interviewing them and saying, why do we have you? What do we need you for? What do you do for us?
Yeah.
And he's also going to be posting regularly on what our government money is going towards. And I don't know if you saw the first post, but there was $236 billion with a B of improper payments from the federal government to whoever, okay? Wow. So if you just eliminate that right there, that's $236 billion that he could save. And then I saw in there, too, that there's a transgender monkey studies, for a couple $1 million.
Oh, it's crazy, some of the stuff.
I mean, there's cats on treadmills in Russia they were funding.
The effects of cocaine on some animals.
Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy.
Sex drive or something like
so
that.
But let's say he can find $1 trillion, $1 trillion, and we can do that. That's $1 trillion that we're not spending anymore.
Yep.
Okay, which is huge. At the same time, if we go in to start drilling our own oil and gas and producing more revenue,
exactly.
right? I mean, it's catastrophic of what's going to happen in a good way as far as saving, spending, et cetera. And then go back to what you say is, all right, now we don't have to borrow, which means we can lower the interest rates. I don't know. It just seems like it all could work really, really well.
Absolutely.
And I do think that our government is very big. It's very, very fat.
Bloated.
I don't know about you, but, I just had to pay some property taxes and this and that. I mean, it's getting insane how expensive these property taxes are, and where does the money go? What are we doing? The roads are still not fixed. We got roads that need to be repaired. We got homeless people. We got vets. Where's the money going? You know what I mean? And we're paying a lot of money in property taxes right now here in Florida, St. Petersburg area, and people feel that. You know what I mean? So I like it. I think that it's good to go through and examine every entity. Every business does it anyways. They look at their own business and say, why do we have this person? Why do we have this department? What are we doing with it? How do we cut costs?
Yep.
I mean, that's normal. He's not going in there being mean. I understand some people are going to lose positions and jobs and funding, but it is what it is. We can't just support everything. Meanwhile, we're going to go more and more in debt and then bury the middle class with more taxes.
Yeah, and so if you are one of those people that are in jeopardy of losing your job, or you think you are, and it's probably mostly Washington, D.C., those couple of counties right outside of Loudoun County, Virginia. But if you are in that position, well, skill up, figure out a new skill set. Go out and go into the market. That's how capitalism is supposed to work. It's not supposed to be this bureaucracy that gets bloated over 250 years. It's supposed to be, entrepreneurial and to help the people. And we saw how the corruption has got us to this point. I think that's what is going to be interesting to see in just one of the things that the new administration, the Health and Human Services, everything.
Education,
RFK,
education's a big one. No more of that, teach the kids transgender studies and all that stuff. We're eliminating that crap, you know.
Yep.
And not to say that you don't need to learn that, but I don't think a 10-year-old needs to learn that.
Right.
And I think it's more of an adult conversation.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of things that have been happening that I disagree with. So I'm all for a change in education. I don't think that is going the right direction. I think that we do need a change. So let's see how this goes. And let's, like I said last time, he's our quarterback. Let's get behind him and let's see what we can accomplish.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. We got a really good team assembled, and now you're looking at just some major exciting change. I think people are excited. I think just in general speaking, just the people I talk to just in my everyday walk of life, business owners, restaurant owners, all different types of people are very optimistic, and they're looking forward to this next year, and they're looking forward to a return to normalcy where we don't have to discuss the transgender, the men and women's sports. Hopefully all of that will just kind of work itself out, and we'll go back to a more 1980s style,
Yeah, no, I think he's right by incorporating back into school system Christianity, Bible, the American flag, saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I think all that stuff being gone, negatively affects our country.
Absolutely.
So I'm anxious to see that come back.
Mark Haye, 21st Century Financial, markhaye.com, financial advisor, Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com. You can find all his information there online as well. Appreciate you, Mark.
Absolutely. Appreciate you too. Talk to you soon.
Awesome. All right. Coming up, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. We're going to talk with our contractor extraordinaire on the program, as well as this interesting story, too. Company sued over COVID, and the plaintiff awarded $12 million from Blue Cross Blue Shield. We're going to talk about that one coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, Knock out your
BRimes here in studio. We got Fred Muth in studio with us. Tampa Screens and Aluminum back in studio. We're going to talk with him about his business, the screen rooms onto your home. We call that in-between space. We kind of call it that in-between space on the back of the house a lot of times, and it's kind of gets you into the nature side, but minus the bugs and mosquitoes. And we're going to talk with him, patio, screen enclosures, everything related to Tampa Screens and Aluminum coming up. Fred Muth in studio with us. Plus, we've got a feel-good story of the day. This thousands of circular homes are surviving hurricanes across the U.S. Thanks to a North Carolina company. Feel-good story of the day coming up here as well. Quick shout-out to our friends over at Brio Tuscan Grill. If you're thinking about lunch or maybe perhaps a dinner or catering for your business, we have a great opportunity for you to check out this Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly staff, and our restaurant partner for Tampa Bay, Chef Oscar. Talk to Chef over there, talk to Joey. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. They've got great food options, daily specials, happy hour specials, as well as catering available from Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We like to feature our real estate properties on air, and it's a strategy that helps us sell faster for more money. 3101 Old Archer Road in Gainesville. This is our pre-construction luxury condos that we have listed in Gainesville, Florida. And we have starting off in the 400s up to the 900s, one bedrooms up to 3. You got 2-story penthouses with plunge pools, EB5 visa approved, no short-term rental restrictions. And you're only 1.5 miles from the University of Florida and Shands Medical, 5 minutes to Shands Medical. 3101 Old Archer Road in Gainesville, Florida. Excellent, excellent property. Great opportunity to own real estate, pre-construction condos. Pricing, getting 10% off right now for a limited time. All right, we got a hot listing over here also at 1905 Masters Way. This one's in Plant City, Masters Way. Seller motivated, beautiful property here. 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 2-car garage, 29 square foot, single family home, 0.38 acre lot, no backyard neighbors, and you have a large backyard as well. Extra land in the back. Walden Lake amenities as well. You have a walking trail, dog park, playground, sports complex, and more. 1905 Masters Way in Plant City. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. This is God's country. All right, Fred Muth back in studio. Welcome in, sir.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to do something besides measure jobs and look at damaged cages. It's quite different. I want to tell you, there's a lot of damage out there.
Yeah.
Since that storm hit, my obligation is to go as quick as I can, see the customers that have cages hanging by a thread that are dangerous, and basically we get them under contract. We do the removal as soon as possible. What is unfortunate is the cage comes down and then there's house damage, and then trying to find a guy, a good woodman or even a roofer to do that remediation at the back of the house. In the meantime, the pool's exposed. There's no fence around the yard, and we're waiting on the repairs to be done at the rear of the home. Storm damage is a lot of money in the industry, but it's not pleasant work because of all of these pitfalls.
The complications,
in the industry. Yeah. I saw one the other day. It's amazing. The pool was no older than 4 or 5 years old, and the cage went away, and it took pieces of the masonry foundation with it.
Wow.
So the foundation actually failed. It was cracked out, and I don't know if they used substandard concrete or whatever, but what we see is just amazing. And then, unfortunately, the homeowners are still, arm wrestling, fist fighting the insurance company. Insurance companies are really not treating them very well. I was reviewing some of the deductibles. I understand that you have an option when you buy the policy, 2%, 5%, or 10% of the structural claim.
Building value.
Yeah. Well, it's actually whatever, if you've got a $300,000 claim, that you 2%, 5%, or 10% of that. I thought it was the building value, but some of these policies are written the other way, and by the time they settle up, there's $7,500. It's a $22,000 cage. Mm-hmm. Okay, now they got roof damage too. So they got all this, and they're getting very little back, and it's just it's sad. It's
and
very
FEMA
sad.
too. You hear FEMA, and then the FEMA director come out and said,
skip all the houses that have Trump signs.
Oh, I heard. Believe me,
that's crazy.
But that's crazy. That's insane. That's bad news. Don't get me
news.
started on something like that. You know,
I know.
I had a dealing with FEMA back when Sandy went through in Jersey. I still have a property up there, and you know what? It was 6 months to get my money from FEMA.
Superstorm Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, they $30,000. They just ran me around in circles, and I said to myself, why even insure? I don't have to carry flood.
Mm-hmm.
Why even insure it? Because if I saved that money over all these years, I would have had more.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
But what they put you through is just not right, and it's just bureaucracy that's
it is.
terrible. Yeah. Sometimes I think the whole insurance thing down here is becoming more of a political play card than a value to the homeowners.
Yeah, I get it.
You see it in your business.
It's tough, especially when you think about condos and all the stuff going on in the condo side.
Oh, that's a
so
sad
it's challenges.
situation.
There's a lot of challenges, and especially with paying these premiums over the years, and then you expect the companies to do the right thing, and then now the law changed where if the homeowner does want to sue, they have to incur the legal fees, whereas it used to be the other way around.
The other way around, yeah. No. So they basically put you in a box.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get out of that box. You're stuck,
Yeah.
And that's just today's
It
world.
happens.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
we like I say, there's a lot of cages going in. We're still good. The supply chain is still good. We are extremely well staffed with installation crews right now. Believe it or not, I can tell people. Aside from the city of Tampa, I can say we can have you done in 4 to 8 weeks right now because outside of the city of Tampa, they're rubber stamping the permits on replacement cages because they know that cage was already permanent at one time. It meets all the setbacks. City of Tampa they're slow, and they run you through more hoops than they should. It's frustrating.
Permitting wise.
Permitting, yeah. I mean, I know some people down there, and I'm able to get some things going pretty good, but. You get one guy or one lady that's just as hard-headed about a setback or whatever, a concern, the next thing you know, that thing is delayed again. And the city of Tampa is the only municipality that I deal with that you have to provide a tree survey, okay, just to replace the cage. Cage has been there. You got to go back to the site. You got to mark every tree. You got to get it on the survey, how far away it is from the work site. Well, I can do it. I don't mind doing it. But what happens is you do it and you do it right, and then it goes into what they call it natural resources. It sits there. It may sit there for 4 weeks before it moves, and the people are sitting there trying to get their cage replaced.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
It takes too long.
Yeah, it takes too long.
It needs to be streamlined, especially with this day of technology.
I think at some point things are going to improve. What I've seen over the years, I've worked many storms in this industry, and after the storms and the problems are resolved, I see where building departments make some changes internally to move things faster. Yeah. I guess enough people complain about it. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. We got this story. This is our feel-good story, so we'll go ahead and talk about this. Let's throw the feel-good in there.
Tell me something good.
All right, so this is interesting, Fred. You got thousands of circular homes that are surviving these storms across the United States. So it's called Doltex Homes, a North Carolina-based company that's constructed over 3,000 circular hurricane-resistant houses along the U.S. Gulf and Atlantic coast. These homes feature aerodynamic designs, and they are elevated on stilts anchored deep into bedrock, enabling them to withstand winds up to 190 mile an hour. For instance, Gene Tenner, and he's in Florida Crystal River, remained intact during Hurricane Milton, while neighboring structures were significantly damaged. Although these homes can cost between $600 and $2 million, their resilience offers long-term savings by potentially reducing need for costly repairs and high insurance premiums. If you're watching the stream version, you can kind of see that there. You've got the houses that are constructed that way. Circular homes, pretty cool.
I love it. The concept of the mansard roof design on the ranchers can withstand wind much better than the gable ends, where the flat gable ends.
Right.
And if you have flat gable ends on your home, you in some cases you can have a wind mitigation company come in and get up in the attic and beef up everything in there, and then to satisfy the wind load, and then they basically give you a reduction on your insurance. However, the houses with the mansard style roofs, it's not necessary because that wind hits, it smoothly goes away. Whereas on the flat ends, it hits, and it's got nowhere to go but push the gables in. And my house at home is gable end. But I spent 14 hours in the attic before the storm hit.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Getting
yeah.
it ready?
I beefed everything up.
Just adding some extra protection there.
And there's easy ways to do it. The hardest part is getting up in the attic and hitting your head on the nails that are sticking through the plywood.
Yeah.
I already had a couple holes in my head. Now I got a few more.
I've been there, done that. Absolutely. If you just joined us, we're talking with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, tampascreens.com. You can find them online and build that screen room onto your home. Reach out to them and reach out to the show hotline if you'd like. We'll put you in touch. What else are you seeing in your industry, my friend?
Well, I mentioned the supply chain is rolling along very well right now. I hope I don't jinx myself. And typically, unfortunately, what happens after a month or two after the storms, the extrusion, the aluminum extrusion price goes up, and we're expecting that. And it's not gouging; it's supply and demand basically, because the demand is extremely high. So when the storm hits, the warehouses are cleaned out of their supply, and then they have to remanufacture and come up to where they need to be. And obviously, it costs more money at that point to produce the product. So we're expecting that, but either way. I'm just proud to tell you that Tampa Screens is knocking these things out in 4 to 8 weeks, which is very, very fast.
That's
and
great.
Some of our competitors, who I know, I've known them for years. They actually have recordings. Please call us in a month. And they don't pick up because they're so busy. They're just out, basically walking the neighborhoods, handing out cards, writing up contracts. And that's good. I mean, that people need that.
Yep.
Homeowners that are in trouble, when they call me, I'll say to them, I might be 4 or 5 days to get you measured, maybe another 3 days to get you priced out, depending on your location. And they're so glad. And one guy told him 2 weeks, I'm fine, I'll wait, which is good because the demand is extremely high for all contractors.
Yeah.
Aluminum, roofing, wood, all that. Windows. I sent one guy over to a window company that I know. Calls me back. He says, "Got anybody else?" They're 6 months out.
Wow.
That's how it is. So what are you seeing?
Contractors are busy, man.
What are you seeing with the real estate and the damage?
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I did lose some listings. I had $1 million listing on the beach and just, multiple other properties that I lost the listing on. So, those will come back at some point.
Right, because they're compromised.
You hope so. Yeah, exactly. And then, lost a couple contracts. But I think in general, we're moving in the right direction. We're going to start this. We're going to have this cleanup done. We are getting a lot of the buyers and sellers that were kind of on the fence, like wait and see for the election.
Sure.
They're done. They're like, hey, let's get in the game.
Yep.
Now what you're dealing with is the holiday talk. The holidays. Well, I say it's a great time of the year to sell because if you do put your property on the market right now, you're going to be standing out. There's going to be a lot of other people that are falling into that conventional wisdom of, let's wait till January, February to put it back on.
Yeah.
And then what happens in January, February? Inventory bumps by 100%,
Yep.
maybe double. Right. So now you're one of many versus being one of a few in November, December, because you're willing to put your home on the market. Let's face it, people need to live somewhere. You got tax ramifications, but if they can close by the end of the year. Mm-hmm. You have also, of course, the snowbirds now, of course, seasonal, those types of seasonal things that are always there. Lots of different reasons why buyers and sellers and even investors are going to make moves during these holiday seasons.
Yeah. Not everybody can think logically before the holidays. I've always noticed that. The focus is on the holidays and not necessarily on what's really important in your life at that point.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it, like if your cage is ready to be replaced, move on that fast. Not that I'm trying to sell a cage, but I tell people move quick before the prices change. I'm waiting for my insurance to settle.
Yep.
Sign here, get it in the system, I'll lock you in.
There you go.
Okay, 10% down, bingo, you're in. And
now, do you have to change pricing at some point, or do you have that built into your if there were an increase?
No. It's one thing. I talked to Richard about that a couple of times. I'm amazed that he holds them down. I'm amazed that he does that, and people respect that. Richard and Ricky and Diana, the people that the owners and the people that work there, they're very ethical people.
Yeah.
If they weren't, I'd be out of there.
Because there are some contractors that have had big time challenges when they were in the wrong type of market. The cost of wood, the cost of aluminum, different components are going up.
Escalation clause is what they use.
Right.
If let's say you're going to build a $2 million home,
yep,
and it's going to take a year. Well, there's going to be an escalation clause, and everybody should understand that because it's a big storm hits or whatever, and now the price of lumber doubled.
Yep.
So the builder is going to put the brakes on and say I can't perform, and so what are you going to do? Sue the builder?
Right.
You're not going to sue the builder.
Waste of time.
You're going to look at your escalation clause and you realize that this is just the way it is. He's not making another dime on you. He's not making more money.
Right.
The industry is more expensive now,
Yep.
and that's the gamble you take. When you're building. I mean, if I say a 1.2 or whatever. If it's a $300,000, $400,000 home, the hit isn't as bad.
Right.
It's more acceptable.
Let's take a quick break here. More with Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Plus, an interesting story. Find out about this company that got sued over COVID lockdowns, and this awarded $12 million to this lady that was working. We'll be right back here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian, conservative companies. And you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com.
Lindsay Rimes here. My husband Brandon and I own the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams, and our team of seasoned agents is ready to help you buy, sell, invest, and love the life you live here in Tampa Bay. Communication, execution, customer service, and bulletproofing transactions are really where our team shines. We service Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Pasco, Hernando, and Citrus counties, and we have seasoned agents in residential, luxury land, and commercial divisions. Reach out to us, your Christian realtors, and let us help empower you with the right knowledge to make smart decisions with your next transaction. Call us at 727-263-3707 today. Again, that number is 727-263-3707.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rimes here in studio with Fred Muth. Tampa Screens and Aluminum coming up here. More with Fred. Quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. He does a great job cleaning our real estate properties. He's a residential and commercial cleaning company. Lee'sRoyalServices.com also does some handyman work. Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. 1240 Chelsea Lane in Holiday, one of our real estate listings here in Tampa Bay. This one's in Pasco County. Great opportunity to own real estate. You got an affordable home here, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, 1 car garage. You have a single-family home on a 0.13-acre lot, no HOA or CDD, and you got a new roof installed in 2022. Park your boat, a jet ski, or camper on the property, and you can also just visit the beaches, Gulf Beaches, and historic Tarpon Springs Sponge Docks, just minutes away. 1240 Chelsea Lane in Holiday, Florida, another one of our 100-plus listings from the Platinum MVP team. 4229 Red Cliff Place. This one's in Newport Richey as well. You have an updated 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-car garage condo right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. Community pool and lighter colors on the interior. I love that. You also have a heated pool, clubhouse, shuffleboard courts, and the HOA features cover a lot of the maintenance, internet, cable, TV, sewer, trash, and water. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, back in studio with us. And we're talking about the business side and talking about end of year and hiring for next year. Are you guys looking for good help?
I think every company in Florida would love to find some excellent help. Yeah. And that's the big problem. That's the concern, because it's not as it was when I was a young guy. You know, I was proud because I mowed lawns and made $5 a week. and I talked to my other friend, and he was throwing papers for $2 a week. You know, you're always proud of what you were doing back then. But now in today's world, you don't see that. And we'd love to find some good people. You know, the business is good. The business is big. We've got excellent people that work with us, but we'd always love to have some more excellent people. That wouldn't be up to me. They would have to call in and talk to Richard or Ricky.
Yep.
You know, I think if we needed help at all, it would possibly be with the scheduling department and that kind of thing. Because our girl Diana, I'm telling you, she's overwhelmed. But you would never know it by talking to her. She can handle it. Throw it at her.
That's great.
She knows how to handle it. And then now, she's on vacation. She had to take a little break. Now Ricky's in there handling her part, and he's doing an excellent job. You know,
awesome.
I don't know if he's listening or not, but you know, he impresses me for a young man.
Yeah.
He impresses me. He is an excellent businessman, Ricky. And his dad, you know, he probably significantly brought him up right.
Right.
So I'm very, very proud to work with this company. And if they were anything other than what I'm saying, I'd be gone. I'd be elsewhere.
You know, it's kind of like you look at the kids that their dad coached them in football or baseball, right?
Yeah.
Or the kids that grew up in the family business. You know, they grow up with discipline. They understand economics. They understand hard work.
Sure.
Right. I think that there's something there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pleasure in hard work, economics, and business. There's a lot of pleasure if you look at it in a positive state of mind. And most successful people do that. And when you look at business and this and that and the other as being problematic, don't even get out of bed. You know,
That's right.
That's how I feel.
So outside of business, you are also, one of your favorite things is you play guitar, and you're also a car guy.
That's two of my other bad habits, yes.
Two of your bad habits. There you go.
The car. See, I'm at this point in my life, I still work, put a lot of time in working because I'm a car guy.
There you go.
And guitar is something it's music. You know, music's in you. It's not like I ever really had to go out and learn how to do it. It's in you. You got to pick up an instrument and make whatever sound you're hearing in your head and bring it out on an instrument. That's musical ability, basically. So I've got that, and I hook up with a lot of different guys my age. It's amazing. I call them retired hippies. Some of these guys, they play like Hendrix, and we sit down and we just start playing, and man, all these songs come out. And then I have a guy that's a drummer. He's a handyman as well. He's played in sessions with Meat Loaf, and he's played with Eddie Money, and so he's from New York, and he's just perfect at what he does. So when we all hook up together and the sound comes out, and it all sounds good. Yeah, it's so pleasing, because that's what it's all about. Is not the individual sound, is the group together sound,
right?
And make it sound correct.
Yeah,
and it happens.
Yeah, you get there and just start.
Yeah, and I've been working on you. I'm telling you, to come over to your house, and I know you got one. I
got to learn it.
I got to show you. I think in 1 hour I could get you rolling.
Oh, that's amazing.
It wouldn't take long.
Fred Muth, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Tampa Screens and Aluminum.com. He's online at tampascreen.com. Fred, thanks for coming in, man.
Oh, my pleasure. I always enjoy it.
Absolutely. Great having you in here.
See you next time.
Absolutely. Yep. Hey, another great show. We had financial advisor Mark Haye, 21st Century on the front end, and, of course, Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 727